Okay, Libra, welcome to your weekly reading, astronumerology reading from today until January 10th, 2026. We're going to start with the numerology energy, which is this is a 1 year, and I made the video about the 1 year, new beginnings, new things. Some people say new year, new me, but it is about newness within the body, health, the head, career, everything is new. Okay. And then we are in January, which is a 2 month. So that is about partnerships and relationships. So new things happening in partnerships and relationship. And that's the energy that everyone feels. Go back and look at the specific videos I made regarding personal year because you will have a different energy for each month based on your personal year. Okay. In addition to those energies, we have some other undercurrents of energy lessons that are flowing. So I'm going to pull some cards for that for you. Okay. So we're going to start with the Moonology card, and we are dealing with the full moon, the wolf moon, which is the first super moon of the year, of the of January, not really the year because March really starts the year off. But there's a moon energy that is floating around for each person, which carries a lesson or that you might have to be concerned with. And for you, this said, oh, the scales of balance. It says a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. What do you know? Full moon in Libra, which is great. So win-win. You're going to find the balance to a problem and have a successful outcome. Nice. Next, we're going to do the numerology cards, and that is another energy that is going to follow you this week. So let's see what that is for you. Pick a card, any card, any card. What? Somebody else got nature. Nature is 74, which is 11, which is a master number, which the 11 is the first month, 1, 1, 1 and 1 is 2. I'm sorry, the first year and the month is 2. So again, on a high vibration, this is elevation. This is teaching. This is serving a purpose outside of yourself. There's two ones, so that represents the level of balance. The one is balanced by the two. The one and two partnership works really well. So perhaps you're going to find the two that you need. And also be balanced with nature, right? Some things that we do in life because of how, if you live in the United States, how everything is, it's outside the natural order of nature. So get back within the order of nature. Use this time to reconnect with nature. The third card that we're pulling is the lesson card for the week. So, what lesson are you learning? Adversity. It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. You're a balanced type individual. You see duality in both sides of the coin. So you definitely can relate to the fact that if it is adversity, a challenge, it is going to help you grow. Now, I'm about the easy button in life. And if something continues to be a challenge, the scales tend to tip, right? So you have to balance it back by letting go of some things. And sometimes if it's too much of a challenge, you have to let it go. But overall, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. You know, when you had to learn to walk as a kid, that was tough. But once you got it, you didn't forget it. The very last card that I'm going to pull for you is going to be one of the playing cards, my gigantic playing cards. And it's going to be what energy? Ace of Spade. Again, I love it. Ace of Spade is what most people aspire to get because the Ace of Spade means financially, you are doing what needs to be done and managing your money well. and you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. So most people want to have that card, and you just so happen to be the one who got it. So congratulations there. So that looks really good for you. Now, aside from this, let's go into the actual astrology. So the energy that everyone has is the sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury are all going around together. So everyone is experiencing that energy. It's just hitting the houses differently. It is in Sagittarius right now in the world, right? Where is Sagittarius in your chart? Sagittarius is your third house of communication. So that energy is definitely having an impact on how you communicate with others. And let me tell you about the energy. The energy is the sun, which is the king, riding with Mars, which is the military officer or the uncle who really is hot headed, and Venus, which is the young daughter, cute little thing, and then Mercury, which is the young son or whatever he might be, because he might be a she, what might be a little confused, but young and impressionable. They're all in a car together, and there's no mama around, which offers balance to that whole relationship. So that energy could be out of balance. There could be a lot more of the let's go get into trouble kind of energy, or dissatisfaction because you want to do one thing when someone else wants to do another thing. And that is in your house, your third house, which is about communication, what is bringing you pleasure, as well as about how you interact with your siblings. It's also health concerns with the right eye, right? So maybe your vision's a little bit off. Your right eye is maybe having some problem. Maybe you have a little injury to the right eye. That energy also is a distracted type energy. So car accidents can occur because people are distracted with driving. Tempers can flare, arguments can occur. In the third house of communication for you, the challenge is for you to go back and make sure that you are balancing what you're saying to whomever you're speaking with, balancing things like rest for your pleasure, because if you're going to be traveling or doing anything, you need to be alert, right? Make sure you can see, have your vision checked. The other energy that everyone is dealing with is the Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Gemini. And for you, Jupiter originally, right now, Jupiter being in Gemini is showing that that is expanding that. Gemini is the three, excuse me. And right for you, that's actually your ninth house. And the ninth house is the public house, and the ninth house is teachings, education, gurus, travel to long distance travel, not the short distance travel that you sometimes can get with the 3 and 5, but with the long distance travel. And kind of an aristocrat, kind of all about knowledge. So Jupiter is expanding that area for you, bringing attention to it, and it's actually kind of good. So if you have plans or would like to have plans to go back to school and become a lawyer, or this is a good time for you to do that. Do the paperwork so that you can actually make that a reality. The next energy that everyone is dealing with is Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn in Pisces, which in your chart, that's your sixth house. Pisces is your sixth house, which is about your health, cooking, debt, enemies, right? Enemies that you know about because competition. And what you have to focus on is being diligent in the work that you're doing. One, so that you can be successful in the competition, of course. And balance is always a thing for you. So, yes, there are tasks that must be done, but you have to balance your time with the task, right? You got to make sure that you have time for you to recover so that your health does not suffer while you're dealing with this, whatever thing it is, a competition, someone at work, or even in a romantic relationship. The other thing that's happening is right next to Saturn is Rahu, which is the North Node. So that means Rahu is influencing this energy. So that is an outside force, an outside element, something that appears to be one way, but in another way, it's really something else. And it might not be for the best for you, right? It's an energy that can be manipulative. So it might want to mislead you. And that is right next to that hard work of Saturn. So that could be as simple as someone giving you the wrong directions, right? Or it can be as complicated as someone throwing mud on your name because they pretended to be one thing just so they can get you caught up in something and then get you in some type of legal trouble or financial trouble. There's two different levels with that. Now, all of that energy is going to be traveling together the 4th through the 10th. The thing is that as we move on to the 5th, let's move it forward. And don't worry, the moon is going to play a part in this as well. As we move this energy forward to the 5th, which is going to be a 7th day, the 7th day is all about the self internally, and it is the 7th house, which is Libra's house. So this is the day that is more aligned with who you are, the energy that you bring to the world. That day, you're going to see all of these houses move a little bit closer to your Kona, meaning the major players, the first house, the fourth house, the 7th house, and the 10th house. So that means all of the energies are going to be there at the same time. And that creates a lack of balance because for instance, the Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury are going to be in the 10th house of career, right? All at one time. And as they're in that 10th house of career, that is also passing over your natal Cancer sign, which is a home, emotional time. So tempers could flare at work. You could have some problems there. You could be working from home and they may decide that you need to no longer work from home. You need to go into the office and it's not going to sit well for you. You might feel like I have my plan set up and they're just changing it. So a lot of things may go on the 5th because of where that energy lies. Then on there it is. As the 5th almost concludes, actually we go into the 6th. The moon and K2, South Node, are going to get together, and they're going to get together in Leo. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun. And so Leo for you is in your 11th house of relationships, your tribe, right? Technology, your friendships. You will have revelations about those relationships. Sometimes it's about a female mother figure, sometimes it's about just the feminine energy in general, but things come to light about the relationship that puts it in a slightly different perspective. And it could be also someone is discovering a new thing from in a technological sense. So they've discovered a new app or they made a new app and it's going to change your life, right? Or maybe you are an investor because this is also the house of investments. And maybe someone is going to invest in you in a project, maybe in an app that you have. So when we see these energies move, you have to know where it is hitting your chart and why that's important, what type of influence it has for you. Now, everyone is going to be dealing with the fact that throughout the week, there is going to be energy associated with car accidents, energy associated with the possibility of cutting yourself, like while you're cooking or doing something, cut a problem with a finger or a hand. Those things are happening. There is the death energy that comes up, and that is around the 6th or 7th. That energy comes up list where death in the sense of loss. Yeah, the 6th. And that loss could be through a motor vehicle accident. So that's there for everyone. The other energy, all of this energy moves again. The six, it shifts and it's still in your major konas, but then it starts to get better. And technology might help you get better financially during this week. So I would lean on technology as you use it as a resource to improve your finances this week. That's good for you. As we continue on through the 7th, now this energy is going to be impacting the 5th house. For you, that is Aquarius, that is the technology type thing, that is the being different, right? So you may actually change your appearance that day, wear some different clothes or different, show a different side of your personality that day. Or you might experience that with some other people, children, or romantic partner, just changing things up. Sometimes the change up can cause conflict because someone says something that's not so nice. So be aware of how you interact with people. People say nice things and not so nice things all the time. It is up to you how you receive that information and who you continue to allow in your life. They don't have to be a part of your life. The 7th, actually, the 6th is an 8-day overall. So that is a good day financially, or at least that's a day where you're going to see a lot of financial things occur. Because we do have that energy that is Mars, there's some disruption in some finances, possibly because of military action or police action or authorities who are acting out that is causing things to not be in harmony. Then the other thing is that the 9th, January 9th, is actually going to be a 2-day. So the partnerships are changing and ending. People that you thought were allies are showing themselves not be allies. And this is also possibly due to that military government action, right? That can impact you directly because that means some jobs may be lost and some other positions might become available that you might be more suited for in the government. Moving on, that you continue in that energy until the 9th. The energy shifts again. And now the energy shifts to your 2nd house. Natally, that is going to be Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, another fiery type element, already having Venus, Sun, Mercury, Mars, fiery Mars, because Mars is kind of running the show with this one. Venus and Mercury are not happy. So Mercury's on the negative side. Venus is like, the Sun is like, I'm good. But it's now dealing with Scorpio, which is another energy that's ruled by Mars. So definitely in your relationships and in your work relationships specifically, there can be some communication challenges, the arguments, right? Um, some expressions that shouldn't be said, right? Just things of that nature. And that could impact your money. So be careful, right? Be careful what you say, how you say it, because that could impact your finances. You don't want that. Other than that, the 9th is in general a good day. And then you move into the 10th. And the 10th, just a moment. The biggest thing that I see with the 10th is we're back to your 5th and 6th houses being impacted by Saturn and Rahu. And there's a worker energy there on one side, an innovative type worker energy, because Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius and Rahu is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is Rahu's natural house. So it's definitely on one side innovation, right? So innovation and health, which is Saturn is in your 6th house, or when it comes to competition, you may find a way to beat the competition or the competition can find a way to beat you. But perhaps not with them. And later on, Jupiter moves into that sixth house for you and brings expansion to that. So you could definitely be looking at getting one, you can expand your diet, you can expand what you eat, or you could be looking at getting if you're a person who is looking for a job, finding a job that allows you to move, to relocate, to expand your horizon sort of thing. Just because everybody is getting this, remember, be careful this week when it comes to driving because there's a lot of explosive energy, just car accidents and things of that nature, crashes happening. Okay. I mentioned to other people this is not a good week for surgeries. So if you were going to have any elective surgery, I would suggest you put that off. Emergency surgeries, it is what it is. But if you do not have to go to a hospital, do your best not to go because there could be other accidents there as well. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.